Alrighty. How's it going? Looks like we have a few friends in chat. Insane Goon. How's it going? Alright. Well, as you saw maybe in the title, I have some cards I ordered online. And I'm going to be building the Incredible Hulk, Bruce Banner. The Hulk is one of my top 5 favorite superheroes. Number 1 is Superman. Number 2 is probably Spider-Man. And maybe Hulk is number 3. Superman's number 1, but then Spider-Man, Hulk, Wolverine, and Batman are probably my top 5. But anyways, I love the Hulk especially because it's the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde story in a superhero, which I love that story. But hey, Insane Goon, thanks for saying that. Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed the video too. You're building Tony Stark, Iron Man. Cool. The Incredible Iron Man, I think that's what it's called, that new one. Or the one that's been out for a while. The Incredible one looks pretty cool. So, I have my address on these, so I'm gonna hopefully keep that hidden. I've seen people do these before, and I don't think it'll matter. I don't think I'll ever get big enough that it'll matter, but I guess you just be safe. So I'm gonna open these, but maybe do it a little bit off screen. What I probably could have done was blacked them out, but this should work. Oh, the receipts have my address on them too. I gotta be careful with that. Alright, I'm gonna move my keyboard. I'm also gonna be taking apart an old CDH deck. It's not even really CDH, but it had a couple. I mean, I tried to make it CDH, but it had a couple combo cards that I didn't want to buy another copy for, and um, so it's Earthcraft. Anyways, I'll talk about that later. But I get a little scatterbrained sometimes with these because I do more than one thing on the stream. Okay, move this stuff, move this over, move this over. Okay, then we have what we got. So my vision. Oh, I missed some thoughts here in Sangoon. The 2-drop. Yeah. Flips to a 6-drop. Cheats art. Yeah, that one looks cool. But yeah, my vision of the Hulk is actually a pinger deck. I had a pinger deck. I had the not the boring one, but the boring one, the Garson Starn red blue pinger deck, that sort of just builds itself. But I didn't enjoy it, so I eventually took it apart. But so I have a bunch of these, and I just decided that I wanted to get some of the foil ones because most of these are not very expensive. But I have a bunch of the cards already set aside. I'm potentially making this like a tons of like a super combo deck. So I have these, the Mist Hollow Griffin and Eternal Scourge that I could potentially do with Food Chain. I'm even maybe thinking of making this a snow deck. But anyways, here's a bunch of the cards. So here's some of the. So I already had a Cunning Spark Mage, but I didn't have foil ones. So I got a couple foils there. These are just some other random cards that seemed maybe good. Here's the snow stuff. So we'll come back to these. But all right, yeah. So Cunning Spark Mage is one of them. Yep, I got Caltrops. Here it is. Speaking of Caltrops, the foil one was way too expensive. Also, because I'm not confident I'm gonna keep Caltrops in the deck forever. You just have to do it because it was just so sort of in your face combo. But I didn't own a copy, and the foil ones are now ridiculous, and so I just got this regular copy of Caltrops. So we'll see. Maybe someday if I really love the Bruce Banner deck and I keep it long term, maybe I would get a foil version. But let me make sure. Anyways, okay. I did get a few other cards also that are not for this deck, which I'm pretty sure Petrified Hamlet. I got this for my no color Karn deck, the original Karn. When this land enters, choose a land card name. Activated abilities of sources with the chosen name can't be activated unless they're mana abilities. So, in that deck, I just play tons of lands that make colorless, as long as they don't come in tapped. And so this is just, it's just maybe a good one. I don't know. This is for a different deck. This is for my, these are the Wizened Snitches. 1/3 flyer for 4 that players play with their top of their libraries revealed. I've been meaning to get one of these for a long time for my Simic Gandalf deck, which is like a clone deck, but this way I get to like see what's on my opponent's libraries before I even cast a spell. So we'll put that over there for those. Yeah, everything spikes when a new card. Yeah, especially like an easy combo like this. Like, maybe I should bring out. I'm gonna put up. Excuse me. Bruce Banner. All right. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna reduce the size here. That's like right in the middle. All right. So we got Bruce Banner, and we got the Incredible Hulk. So I don't think this is like special, but doing one damage to the Hulk with these little pingers just feels like really on theme too. Like when you watch the Hulk and he gets shot by like machine guns, it just like bounces off, but he gets angry. It's basically what it's like with shooting him, because obviously Caltrops works, but I want the deck to work if I have Caltrops out. So oh. And I sort of hate when it does that. Okay, let's do this. Okay. I just really want to cheat the Aether Spark into play, have it equipped to Iron Man, and it can't be attacked, then go to town. Wait, how slow is the stream? Test, 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 test. Okay. I thought it was like super slow, but it's not that slow. Okay. The card is bad. The Aether Spark seems to be fun for a lot of people. So, all right. Let's get the next card out here, see what we got. Mail day. This is my first ever mail day that I've done. All right, Ruby Medallion. This is not for this deck. I don't own a Ruby Medallion, but now I do. This is for Spider-Man villain. Not Pyro. Electro. So this is just hadn't pulled the trigger on getting one because they were a little bit expensive. Did I just show my address? Oh my gosh. I'm bad at this. Love MTG Mail Days. Nice. All right. Yeah, some of these things are just cards I hadn't gotten yet either. So, I'm going to move these here. So we have some shared roots. All right, because for me, I play a fair amount of rampant growths in certain decks that have enough basics to run them. And shared roots is just another rampant growth. So I realized I need a bunch of shared roots. So I have 6 shared roots. No. I think that's more than enough but I have a bunch of decks, and so Now I have a bunch of shared roots and a couple ground chucks and dirt bags. These are all cheap. I bet you this whole envelope was like $5. But I have a number of decks that will do well with a 6 mana 8/8 trample that gets you more mana. So I have one of these will go in a deck that I have all the mana doublers in, and another one I just got because I'm sure I'll find a place for it. So I think it was like 50 cents, maybe $1. So for the foil one too. That's the thing. A lot of times these foils are like the same price nowadays as the regular one. So with like, I'd say like a third of the cards I buy, the foil are like the same, if not maybe 5-10 cents more, which is a good and a bad thing. It's mostly a good thing, but you can't really spec into foils like I sort of used to be able to do. When I would buy foils partially because I felt like their value would go up, but nowadays because of collector boosters, unless it's like a special, like it has to be like a special version for it to hold value anymore. But probably this deck will want shared roots. We'll see. Put one aside there. All right. Yeah, old foils are where it's at, but honestly, I can't even buy old foils anymore because pre-modern has gotten so popular. So like I'm a little bit lucky because I bought a bunch of old foils just because I've always liked foils and I didn't ever sell them. So I have like one copy of a fair amount of the old foils, like playable ones. So that's nice for for Commander. But now like a random common is like $2 or something because of pre-modern. So which is fun. It's cool. I don't mind that, but you can't just like pick up foils easy nowadays. You sold off some of them, yeah, makes sense. So I got this Archaeomancer for my Brago CDH deck because this is that Brago version, that Brago deck. I tried to like bling it out the most I can. So I finally got this Archaeomancer. I think it was like $5 or something, and then Quandrix was a couple bucks. I have Maelstrom Wanderer. Although this deck that I'm building right now might replace Maelstrom Wanderer in my my Prismatic deck challenge. So we'll see. See what happens. But neither of these are for this deck that I'm making. Yeah, I personally think that the special guest is where they should have put a lot of secret layers. Like instead of doing a bunch of secret layers, a lot of those slots should have been like in special guests. So that way the cards, you can like open them in a pack, not just you have to buy a secret layer. But obviously that never happened and will never happen, but whatever. And what I hate about was when people like, what do you call it? They tape the cards inside the, what do you call it? Envelope? Can't think of words right now. This is sort of cool. Shout out to 95 Mega Center, maybe? 95 Game Center. Thank you for your purchase from 95 Game Center. They're sort of cool. Trying to be sustainable. They have their own thing. Yep, we gotta be careful to show some of these because everything has your address on it. Some of these are definitely moderately played. You can see by like the backs. And they are? Oh yeah, okay. So, I don't think there's a foil version of Rootwater Hunter. I don't know if I'll use him, but I wanted to have every main pinger just in case. So we have a Rootwater Hunter. This Taj Nar Swordsmith is. I just recently finished my Bant Cat Kindred deck, and at first I wasn't going to do equipment, but the deck was too boring just being a tribal deck for cats. So I've made it cats equipment, which isn't anything new, but so I had to get a couple of the equipment cat guys. And see, yeah, still this one's still like a great price. Although honestly, people don't realize that you can get a lot of times a moderately played and here's the thing with foils, especially older foils, meaning like pre-Throne of Eldraine foils. What is considered near mint? What's considered near mint, moderately played, heavy played is so relative based on who you buy it from that I almost never actively go for mint or even lightly played most of the time, unless it's like similar in price, because so many times I bought a lightly played foil and it's definitely moderately played or heavy played. But the opposite happens too fairly often, where I'll buy a moderately played and it's primo. Like this one, oh, there's a little bend right there. But like the actual, there's no clouding on this one. Okay, so that's probably why it was moderately bent. But that's the thing. I don't even know if you could see the little, it's right there on the, yeah, you probably can't see, but there's a tiny, tiny like indent here on the very corner. And when you play with foils, like they don't stay perfect. So it's like the only time you really need a near mint is if you're going to never play the card. So anyways. So that's for the cat deck. This is for, I think I might play this in my CDH Keurig deck. And by might, I mean that's the plan. But it can be 3 black for this spell, and target player draws 3 cards and loses 3 life. To play this with Keurig out, you could play it for free, mana-wise, but then you'd lose 9 life, draw 3 cards. Sometimes it's worth it, depending on where you're at. It also lets you tutor, so it's pretty good option here. I didn't have it in my deck, but and then I got this little guy, Gobdu Gardener. I didn't know he was a beast, but I have a beast kindred deck, so this fits perfectly in there because it'll trigger all the beast stuff, and it'll get all the pumps from beasts, and it's a mana dork that's a beast. But I think I bought another one. Sometimes I buy another one so that I don't have to pay shipping. Like sometimes I'll buy like it's $1.50 for shipping, but if I buy 50 more cents of something, then I don't have to pay shipping. So you pay more to pay less. I don't know. All right, keep on going. Once we get through these, this should be most of the cards that I ordered, so I should be able to build the deck primarily. And then starting with this next set with the superhero set, I'm going to be opening a collector booster box every single month. Because for fun, but also for this new Patreon tier. So people can I'll open up packs, and some of them will be for the people in the Patreon. But I do want to finish opening that Innistrad Crimson Vow box before that, so I still have some of that. And I also have some other random packs I realized that are loose. So this is an interesting pull here. I have a weird tendency to like get rid of, even though this is like a pretty useful, like not too bad inner sleeve, I like re-sleeve with my own sleeves. I sort of hate it, but I also know that every time I have a card now, like I've checked it and I've sleeved it myself. Although that's only happened for like the last couple of years. But I have a Kindred Cube, and I'm adding a little fun addition to it, which is Corona, where I haven't figured out the exact rules yet, but people like pass Corona around, which is already part of her ability. But like, I think I'm gonna have it where it's like in the middle, and people can get Corona, and they can cast her for any color of mana that they have. But then once you do that, you start passing it around to your opponents too. But this was a I didn't realize they had this special version, the Secret Lair version, because the foil old version is like $70 or something. So that'll be cool. Yeah, mail day is sort of fun because I've a little bit forgotten what I ordered, which is not maybe a good thing, but oh. All right, here's another equipment cat that I wasn't using, but then decided to start using. And this one, see, this is actually what I like about foiling. Like, if you compared my foils to like other foils players that maybe collect more than play, I bet you my like quality is a little like a tier down from theirs, because I'm not really buying to resell them again. So it doesn't really matter to always get near mint. Especially like, I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly, this was like $10 cheaper for the lightly played version than the, so there was like damaged, heavy play, and then lightly played, and this one was like way cheaper. So anyways, I can't even see any damage. Where, oh, there's a little bit of, tiny bit of wear on the back there. But this is awesome. I love, even though it's not like old border foils, the older foils still were kicking it. Like, there's just something about them. So this isn't a good card, but my Kindred decks aren't that great of cards anyways. So Raksha Golden Cub, Cat Soldier Legend. Pretty much, if it ever says legend on the card, that's like the best version of a commander, when like they actually said legend on them. Just like this was not made to be a commander card when this was made. I miss that. I miss that now. But anyways, I think I've become an old man yelling at the sky meme as time goes on. Oh man, I don't know. Heard that. Okay, the card's right there. As time goes on, the longer you're in a fandom, I think the more maybe you're nostalgic for the good old days. I'm trying not to be so that way so much about Magic lately. Magic was never going to stay the same because people don't stay the same. Oh shoot. Well, I just showed my address. That was all for worthless. Oh, whatever. Maybe if I wouldn't have made a big deal about it, then nobody would have known. But if you want to come and say hello, I guess. No, I'm not inviting you. Actually, don't come say hello. But if you ever want to say hello at the game store, we're going to hopefully be playing semi-regularly as a group at the Lehigh Game Store. So that'll be cool. Wish I liked Kindred decks. Closest thing I have is Wan Shi Tong All Knowing, which I love. Owls. An owl Kindred deck, yeah. Yeah, I don't. So I guess I'll finish what you said though. So it's a blue legend owl, so I play it and it's sweet, and I have a spirit sub theme. Oh, okay. Owl. I was like, I don't know. Owls would be hard. I don't think there are owls, right? They're just birds. But for me, I found that I started making Kindred because what I love about Commander a lot of times is building with restrictions, which sort of makes sense because that's sort of what Commander is. But I impose a lot of strict restrictions on myself because I think it's more fun. And so Kindred is just naturally one more restriction that you're sort of playing on you. Some of the decks I will only play that creature type in the deck, and others I'll have like support creatures, like in my beast deck there's this elf that whenever a beast comes in you draw a card, right? But in my vampire deck, Edgar Markov, I only have vampires. And so that's one of the reasons I like it but the reason I did this cube was because I didn't feel like if I do a Mardu vampire deck, I'm not really playing a Mardu deck. I'm actually just playing a vampire deck that happens to be Mardu colors, because so like anytime like a card comes out, you can't just be like, oh, it's in my colors, I'll put it in this vampire deck. It has to first be like good for the vampires and like what they're trying to do. And so I don't know if that is even making sense, but that's like a good and a bad thing about Kindred decks, I feel. You have a Gale Dragons deck. Yeah, Dragons decks are some of the best Kindred decks. The most popular ones obviously are Slivers, Dragons, Elves. But I have too many decks now. But the ones that I'm most proud of, I have a Phoenix deck. I think my Cats deck is pretty cool actually because it's banned cats. I have a Demons, ETB Demons deck. I have 2 Dragon decks and an Elf deck, but this is actually for my Werewolf deck, and another one is just for I think I'm going to put this in Smeagol, because it's a pseudo reanimator deck. So he comes in, gets me mana, does some other things, and then I can sack him, or it dies, and then I can get it back. And then Descendant's Path, as we just talked about with Kindred, a bunch of the decks would do well with Descendant's Path, but for some reason I didn't really have any. So there's a cheap new version from Avatar. So I feel like now that I've finally finished the my prismatic deck challenge, I this sort of got some damage in the mail. Hopefully everything's okay. I keep watch on this one. Looks like it just didn't get through, thankfully. Oh, but let's double check. Okay, man, I guess I did get a bunch of things for my Kindred decks, because that's the thing. A lot of times I'm not paying attention to like every new little like possible Kindred card that comes out from a new set. Collector Store 2001. It's been going for a long time. Collector Store gaming cards. But I finally got a Radagast. I opened a fair amount of Lord of the Rings. I wish I didn't. It was definitely not well, I never opened any of this set though. This like set from the special edition for the winter one. And actually, this is one of the boxes I don't own. Is from this special collector edition one. But anyways, I have a Beasts Commander deck that this will go into. And it's actually Tawnos, the Simic Tawnos deck. So it does care about birds and beasts. But I only have like a couple birds in that deck, like Birds of Paradise and like the token one. But anyways, this guy will go in there well. And another equipment cat. Kemba Ka Regent. Makes a bunch of kitties if you're equipping it. And then some Victimizes, because Victimize is maybe the best casual commander reanimator spell in my opinion, because it's just so compact and you get 2 creatures for 3 mana. I mean, you do have to lose a creature, but a lot of times that's like a bonus, you know, or like a lot of decks are cool with it. So this foil retro Victimize is like, I think it was cheaper than other versions and foil versions, and like a regular version was close to the same price. Pretty crazy. All right, and last envelope for mail day today. I feel like I am actually missing a couple packages, because I don't think I've gotten every pinger that I was hoping for. And this is actually a card that I've been waiting for a long time. Finally pulled the trigger because the price keeps going up. This was $20 foil, but the special version that I was hoping to get was $45 like 6 months ago or whatever. And I thought it would go down, but it's only been going up. So I've given up on getting the special version for now, and I just needed a version of Bahamut. Again, this one is like only a few dollars more than the non-foil. And this goes in my group hug deck. Where I play Grozoloth, because it's a 9-mana spell. But this one's still pretty cool looking. It's just not quite as cool as that other one. But yeah, I just didn't open very much Final Fantasy because it was worth so much. I ended up selling. I got 2 boxes of that. Ended up selling one of the boxes at MagicCon 2025 for like $900 or something. It was crazy. And like 2 weeks before that, I had bought it for like $500-600 maybe. So I couldn't pass that up, but that meant I didn't open a lot of Final Fantasy. Anyways, that was sort of lackluster. I bought a lot more cards that was not for this deck than I thought. Oh yeah, okay, sorry. That's why. There was another package I'd already opened, so I needed a couple more of this forest for my Michelangelo Raphael deck. It's a little bit of a sad thing, but I replaced Kodama and Jessica with Raphael and Michelangelo, because I love Ninja Turtles for one, personally, but the deck just works so well with them. But I'm sad that Kodama is no longer my commander in any deck. I have him in a bunch of decks, but I took apart the blue-green CDH version. Oh, and this guy, he's only like 50 cents, but my local game store didn't have any of them for like forever. This guy's amazing with a couple of my decks that care about the top of your library. So he just throws them on top there. And then another cat, and then a couple Gixes. This guy I didn't have a copy of, and this was a cool version. Okay, the Silverclad. That's what I'm missing. I bought a fair amount of uh, dinosaurs that have enrage because they work so well with um, uh, the pingers. Because obviously the Hulk has enrage, but um, these other ones do too. So you can literally, I could just be like, I mean, I have to get him out. This is sort of an expensive card, but it's an 8/5. So I ping it for one, and then my opponents have to sack a permanent of their choice. I can do that up to 4 times a turn, assuming they don't kill it with the last damage, which is pretty rough. Pretty rough. The only time I buy boxes is if the set is stacked like Strixhaven. I usually buy singles. Yeah, it's smarter. I'm hopefully excited that. Well, I am excited. Hopefully there's a few others maybe that will join in with me on buying the collector booster boxes. It's a little expensive though because of all that it goes into. But even if people don't, now I'm just going to be opening my box on all the streams, and so I'm just going to open one box per set, and I've decided that's all I'm going to open moving forward. And I'm not going to collect boxes too. So, because I was sort of trying to, for many years, not for like the last year or two, but for many years, I was buying 2 boxes per set, collector boxes per set, but it's just gotten more and more expensive. And I'm just not necessarily happy. Well, I won't go into that, but I just can't quite support things in the exact same way as I used to. So, all right. And Sangoon, fire away. All right. So we already. Here's the thing. I know that I bought one of these. We already have this one. I don't think I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take out Game Changers for now. We'll come to Game Changers later. Ah, you saw that deck. Yeah, let's check it out. So, um, the Jasmine Boreal. So let me pull her up. Um, because I am playing non creatures without abilities, and I'll show you how. So, I'm actually hopefully going to start making videos. I'm going to do a big video where I show my prismatic deck challenge. It's going to be maybe like, I'm going to try and keep it under 20 minutes, where I show like all my decks and talk about the challenge and sort of just my like deck building philosophy and by and large. And then if there's enough interest, I might do like a deck tech on each of my decks. But for now, oh, it's right here is why. Let me pull up. We're going to say goodbye to Bruce Banner for a second. Actually, let me do this. The long scheme of things. Sorry, bear with me just 1 second. yeah, if anyone, it looks like Insane Goon, you've seen my, let me do this real quick. No. You've seen my Mox Field, obviously. But if anyone else wants to check it out, I am now permanently keeping updated my Prismatic Deck Challenge, which is these 32 decks. One of each color combination. As you can see here, is pretty cool. And then I'm also keeping up those Kindred decks I mentioned. Kindred Cube. I have dragons, demons, vampires, cats, werewolves, elves, phoenixes, beasts, birds, and dragons again. And I'm making Canopy. Where are they? I'm almost done with my rat colony deck, but I just need a bunch more rat colonies. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But I'm doing a rats deck with all these other rats. With this new rat King Vermeister. So I'm gonna hopefully have 12 Kindred decks, and then I'm gonna try and stop there. Because that's already too many. But to answer your question, Insane Goon, let me pull up the deck list here. Go to my green-white deck. Yeah, I'll definitely check it out. Do you put it in Discord? I don't see a link here. Maybe it didn't post. But okay. So my Jasmine Boreal there's a lot going on in this deck. I actually really love this deck, but it started off with her, obviously, and she makes mana to cast creatures with no abilities. I started off wanting to make this deck so that I could play Crawworm. It was just one of my favorite creatures back in the day. But it was just too bad. It just, no matter what, it just was such a bad card. And I wanted to play like Savannah Lions and Crawworm and all these like old, cards like that, as well as, good new ones like Gigantosaurus and stuff, 10/10 for 5 or whatever. It changed when I realized that a lot of the deck was actually more of a lot of the tokens didn't have abilities. There are tokens obviously that have abilities, but that's where my tokens without abilities come. So I'm really leaning into just them being unblockable, because so many of these make tokens, and all of the tokens that are made are don't have abilities. So but here's the thing. This is a secret commander deck, and it's not even really that secret. This deck has like, let me just grab it actually. All right. I'm going to put this away for a second, because I'm going to show the actual deck. Move away Bruce Banner's stuff for a second. Okay. So I have Jor-El, but the deck could be piloted by a bunch of different legendary creatures, which that's not a special thing, but they randomly just work so well in this deck. So let me see if I can pull them out pretty quickly. This is actually, if I really want to win with this deck, this is the best commander for the deck, because I also play, I like doing themes in my decks, and sometimes at the detriment of my ability to win, I will force, this deck needs interaction. I have barely any interaction. I have 1 Path to Exile, 1 Swords to Plowshares, Beast Within, and Generous Gift. I have 4 interaction spells. If I was trying to play it like to win, I would have a lot more interaction, right? But I'm not usually playing to win when I play Commander. Um, I don't mind winning, but so here are all the potential commanders for this deck. And so yeah, the goal of this deck is creature tokens with no abilities, anthems, and to trick people into thinking it's a Jasmine deck when it's really a Kutzil deck. No. I do play Jasmine. That's the fun thing about this deck is you just switching out the commander allows you to like make the deck good or like better or worse by like different like variations. And so there's so many like Selesnya token making commanders. Oh, and this is the other goal for the deck. So I guess Shalai could technically be one. All right. So the goal is first, you can choose any of these dudes as the commanders. Just depending on, and I even took a few out. There used to be the bunny making one used to be in here. I took that one out, but anyways, this is the Guy's Cradle one. Makes tokens, then you can do Guy's Cradle. That's a great choice. Shalai is okay because makes your stuff not targetable, but then you can also have a pump in Shalai. King Darien is also not bad because he's an anthem in himself, and he makes tokens. And he can protect them, maybe. This one doubles up your tokens. You get a bonus soldier on, whenever another token comes in. Maja is another great one because it's a anthem and makes tokens on landfall. Kutzil is amazing because you just having the draw power in the command zone is really nice. And then Phineas does a few things. But so that's sort of the logic is it's not fully a Jasmine deck, really. It's mainly a token deck and an anthem deck, but then all the tokens don't have abilities. So there's a lot of cards that I could play in here, but like the token has like lifelink or first strike or vigilance or something. So I don't include any of those. And I could, but I just decided to have that limitation, and I enjoy that. So these are all the potential commanders. Kutzil, again, I said that a million times, but Kutzil's the best one. Jasmine's the tricky one because it's still actually really good. All of my tokens, every single token in this deck, is unblockable if Jasmine's out, unless they have tokens. But the other goal is a lot of the cards, a lot of the alternate win cons in. I'm gonna turn it on autofocus for now. But a lot of the alternate win cons like this, I'm trying to find the space for them. Suck. And Epic Struggle is one I've never done yet. I've played this deck a number of times, but I've never gotten it out or never gotten it and had 20 creatures. But this deck makes a lot of creatures, and so someday I hope to win with Epic Struggle. Although this deck wins with anthems a ton more. So I get to play cool. This maybe was more than you expected with asking the question. But I mean, that's what these streams maybe are, right? One of the coolest anthems lately, and I actually opened this when I opened my Foundations collector pack, is this like whatever stamped Anthem of Champions. I actually like this foiling. I think it's pretty fun. I recently finally got Cathar's Crusade in here. For a long time I didn't have it in here because it makes the math with all the makes having all these tokens out, and then now you have +1/+1 counters on all the tokens. But it's just so good in the deck that I couldn't do it. And then this, see these, how do I express this? But this kind of card in a commander deck is like sort of what I live for nowadays. Right? Everyone's commander decks are getting more and more powerful over time. I feel like mine maybe are getting worse because I'm just actively trying to find ways to play these cards that aren't like good, but they're not bad either. But they're just so fun that if it happens, right? So 6 mana, all your creatures get +3/+3. That's it. It's clean. It's amazing art. I have nostalgia for the set. It's just I never have seen anyone else play it. I've seen people talk about it, but I've never played against it or played it. I still haven't played it myself actually yet. But when I play this Collective Blessing or cards like it, that is like a dopamine rush. A little magic commander high when you more so than even if I win the game, honestly. Like I have a bunch of tokens out, I throw down Collective Blessing, that was going to be more exciting than like swinging for the win, you know? So that's what I live for. There's a lot of random cards in here like that. Some of these cards I love a ton, like Celestia Guildmage. I loved a lot of these guild mages, some of the original ones. But what I love is once I make a theme, I love finding cards that like do both of the things, right? Like just because like I didn't go into well, sometimes I do. Sometimes a card like this will actually be the reason I make a deck, but this one specifically wasn't. But like once I decided to make this, token deck, once I made the flip and decided to make it so that it was based on no ability tokens, not actual cards, this deck just fit so perfectly. It's the right colors. It's a Celestial Guildmage theme wise. I had a cool old foil one version, and then it can make creatures with the mana, or you can anthem for a turn with the mana. Just so perfect. So I don't know. Maybe there's some neurodivergence that I'm dealing with, but it just makes me so happy when things like that happen. So this deck only has 2 mana rocks right there: Arcane Signet, Soul Ring. I sort of wish I've accepted that most of the time you just have to include these in a commander deck. Like sometimes you don't. Like I have a lands deck that it's better just to have another land in the deck. Oh, this is a card that I'm super pumped out for this deck. Like all of your tokens now become 6/6s that still don't have other abilities. And anytime my opponents cast a spell, I get a 3/3 green elephant token. So these cards that sometimes you see like come out that like don't really have a place, that's almost like where I get excited. But yeah. So anyways, I appreciate you asking me that question because I love talking about this, but I also feel like maybe I went on a huge tangent, but it's so fun. That's why I'm going to maybe do the videos is I've put a lot of thought and effort into these decks, and I just don't get to play them as much as I'd hope. That's why, the video that came out today, we're going to try and do more of those because it's just where I find the fun. But yeah, basically it's just all of the anthems, and then I liked finding the token makers that are just you don't have to tap to make them. So there's a bunch of those in this. This is funny. This is an unglued card that isn't actually unglued, but this one's so fun. It's a token maker and pumps your guys. This is one. When I made the switch to this deck, this is what I was so pumped about to play. It's not even good. 5 mana. To get a 3/3 centaur, your first 3/3 centaur costs 9 mana for one 3/3 centaur token. But if I ever untap with this, things start getting pretty crazy, I think, right? You get, I don't know. I've gotten it out a couple times. I don't know if it ever won me the game, but Oh, here's another one that I still hope to do someday. Speaking of alternate win cons, I hope to Halo's Fountain at some point. Can't get it to... It keeps focusing on my thumbs. But this one's perfect for this deck. So anyways, you can look at the list now, but I love finding these Sprout Swarm I have in here. This one went up in value because of that Golgari dragon that came out. Ooh, this deck has Rampant Growth, so I probably should put a Shared Roots in here. I'll do that while we're here. While we've stopped by in the Celestia world, let's find a card to take out and put a Shared Roots in for it. It's actually really hard to do now at this point. Your Tvaltech, ooh, that's smart with the zombie or the ooze one. All right, let's see if we can find a spot for Shared Roots. Yeah, cards like Mirari's Wake are so cool in this deck because you get more double mana for all the mana making the creatures that you pump mana into to make tokens, and it's an anthem as well. Oh man, I love not synergy. Yeah, I guess synergy. I love synergy in Commander. I don't necessarily love combos. I don't mind combos, but I love synergy. I don't want to waste your time anymore. I'll come back to this for Shared Roots because I can't think of an immediate card to take out. So all right, these double-sleeved decks just barely fit in these boxes. But I recently got all of my decks put in these clear boxes. I used to have just regular deck boxes, but now I can like see what the decks are and sort of show them off a little bit with the clear ones. So it's pretty fun. All right. Well, shoot. I think I'm... Let me pull up my cards that I purchased, because if there's enough that aren't here, well, I can do most of the deck, I think. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. Oh. Hey, South Kaiser. I got a little sidetracked talking about another deck that Insane Goon had a question on, but getting back into... Now, I did mail day and opened a bunch of cards, but it's a long time no see. Hope you've been doing well. Nice, Insane Goon. We can all just chill here together. All right, I'm going to take out the snow stuff for now, because I think a snow theme might work, but it might be too convoluted. The reason I thought about snow was because I just took apart my John Snow deck, my Jorn Snow deck, because it was stasis stacks, and everyone hated playing against it. And so I took it apart because nobody ever wanted to play against it. Even at like power level 4, people weren't super pumped about it, but some of the cards would be like Bounce Stasis, with like Vendalken Mastermind and Haidar Rhyme-Wand Master. But a bunch of a sub theme of this deck is there's pingers, but I don't run that many pingers. I actually have a lot of untap creatures, which can double as mana producers or pingers, which is sort of fun. But there's a couple random combos you can do with snow cards. So because I'm playing Intruder, I'm playing a CIA version of Bruce Banner CIA agent is what I could call it, because I'm playing, instead of, I'm taking apart my Chulane CIA deck, which is based on Cloudstone Curio, Intruder Alarm, and Alurin. All of those just actually end up working really well with this version of the deck. But there's two main cards. There's a couple. There's this Rimwind Task Mage that can tap and untap a permanent, but you have to have snow. There's this Phyrexian Ironfoot that you can untap it for mana. That way, if you like put like a ability for it to tap to do 1 damage, you can just pay mana to untap to do damage. And then there's this Avalanche Caller, which is a 1/3 for 2. Target snow land you control becomes a 4/4 elemental creature with hexproof and haste until end of turn. And that way, if you make your lands into creatures and they have haste and hexproof, then you play a creature with Intruder Alarm, then all your lands untap because they're creatures as well, and then you could go infinite, making tapping to make creatures and all of that. So anyways, having said that, I'm gonna take the snow apart or away for now, because I don't know if I have space for it. So okay, so let's first get out, here's the mana cards. Then we're gonna get out all the pingers. Oh yeah, forgot about those. And let's get out the untapping creatures too. Man, I'm really missing a bunch of cards. I wonder if they came in the mail. I didn't go check the mail today. Well, oh well. I'll just add them later. But we'll do a preliminary decision making here. I mean, one of the things I'm trying to decide on is if I play cards like Electrolyze. This is in Japanese, but there's some spells that can do like split up damage. So I can do 1 damage to the Hulk and then 1 damage to something else, and then draw a card. This is an untapper anytime a land comes in. This one's with +1 counters. I was wondering if any of these creatures are birds, frogs, otters, or rats. But this one untaps itself and you can make it a pinger. I'm going to take out these counter spells for now, and that's a game changer. Cyclonic Rift. This one sort of seemed cool. I don't know if people had seen it before. Whenever a creature you control becomes blocked, Close Quarters deals 1 damage to target creature or player. So I think you can get 2 combats from Hulk, because it says when Hulk is dealt damage. So this will deal it a damage, and then their blocker will deal it a damage. And this is without any pingers. But I thought the Zariel was sort of cool. I'd never seen a place for Zariel, Archduke of Avernus, because it can give your creatures +1/+0 in haste, so it can give Bruce Banner or Hulk haste, but then it makes a devil that when the devil dies, it can deal 1 damage to any target, which again, you could shoot one of their things, them, or the Hulk to get another combat. It also, if you end up getting up to 6, you get another combat every turn with an emblem that does that. I think Inferno Titan's awesome, because you can deal 1 damage. You can attack with Inferno Titan and the Hulk and deal 1 damage, and then 2 damage to something else, and then attack again. This one, I probably don't have enough creatures to sacrifice, but it's a 1/1 for 1. Sack a creature, deal 1 damage to a to target player or planeswalker. Nope. I need to read my cards better. That does not. I mean, it's not bad, but it's not for this deck. And then there's a couple of things that I can give Death Touch. I can give, Death Touch to a pinger. I was gonna see how many of these are wizards. So instead, a lot of them seemed like wizards, like wizard, 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 shaman, wizard, shaman. I need to check on some of these older cards to see if they. I guess we can do that now. So Rootwater Hunter. Let's check to see if that one. Looks like it's just a merfolk. Never upgraded or anything. Alright, we need to look at Razorfin Hunter. Let's see if it's probably just a merfolk too, but it is a merfolk goblin. That's still correct. And Thornwind Fairies, maybe? That is not a wizard. Okay, well, I have some other wizards too. I think it's probably still worth playing Azami. But, yeah, I need some way to draw cards. Man, it feels a little funky making the deck right now when I don't have all the cards that I wanted to put in it. Because I don't know like how many spots I actually have. And there's a couple here like this Gelectrode. I know I ordered one of those in foil. Or I'm pretty sure I did. I think there's that Undying, or not Undying, the Unearthed Untapper. I think I ordered. Well, I think I'm going to. I think I'll just open a couple packs. I feel a little lame sometimes when I just change my mind, but I don't know. It's been, I think, pretty fun. I did a mail day. We talked about the other deck. Saw some of the theme for the. At least you can understand basically what I'm going for, right? You can see I'm going to have a couple. There's a couple more dinosaurs with Enrage that are going to be in the deck. One of them like is expensive, and he makes a copy of himself. This one makes some sack stuff. There's one that makes you draw cards. I have all the pingers, and I don't think I'll play all of them, but I have the original Prodigal Sorcerer and Prodigal Pyromancer. Also, I think this is one of the original ones that's so awesome. I just really wanted a deck for Thornwind Fairies. It's gorgeous. Rebecca Guay. And then a bunch of untappers. And then sort of support cards and some of the combos that I'm going to take out of this deck. I don't know if I'll put Earthcraft in the deck, but maybe. So yeah, this is my CDH Tulane deck that's going to come apart. So I'll have a free Gilded Drake for some deck. Actually, I was trying to make this deck fancy, so it feels a little bit sad taking it apart, but I just think it's too bad to be CDH, and this version I don't really want to play like bracket 4. So My only copy of Gaia's Cradle is actually in here, so it's pretty cool. Still, that's probably my ultimate Grail card that I want to get is the promo foil Gaia's Cradle someday. Someday. What was I looking for? I'm looking for the other combo piece. Combo breaker. Isn't it Aluren? Did I not pass Aluren? Survival of the Fittest, but that's not the one. Yeah, the Judge Foil jumped in like I saw it for like $1,200 the last time I thought about buying it. Now it's like $1 million, but I can't complain because when I got this Mox Diamond, it was probably $500, and now it's like $2,000 or $1,000 or something, $1,500. I don't know. So just because I missed out on one, but I won on some others. It's 1.5, yeah. So, Cloudstone Curio. Where's my Aluren? Did I take Aluren and put it in another deck? That would be weird. This deck needs Aluren. Okay, there it is. That was freaking me out. Okay, so these are the 3 combo cards for CIA. And I think it'll work with, because so many of these pingers are 3 mana or less, and so many of the untappers are 3 mana or less. So I have a bunch of cards that I'm going to do a bunch of things that give haste. Rhythm of the Wild. Zariel does. Rising of the Day. And, and I could get like a Fiery Tempers or some of the other ones too. But, so all the creatures will have haste. And then you cast them for free with Aluren. So all you need is, this is one of the combos, is these 2, Cloudstone Curio and Aluren, and Thornwind Fairies, and a haste. So, it's still a 4-card combo. But this kills everybody. Because they come in, you need another creature too, of any kind. But you can just keep playing and casting and pinging somebody with as long as it has haste. That's like the backup to win. I hope to be able to kill everybody with Hulk, and not in a combo way too. I prefer not to even use Caltrops. Just having like a bunch of pingers, and Hulk can die, but he's an 8/8, so I think he can kill a couple people before he dies, maybe. So we'll see. But yeah, anyways, that's the version of the deck. We're going to be playing it in a couple weeks I'm going to be playing this as my deck for the Marvel Superheroes deck. So you'll be able to see it eventually. Probably end of the month. We'll hopefully get it out. But yeah, I'm going to open a couple packs and then we'll call it a night. Hope you guys are having fun Friday evening, or you probably maybe already had some fun and then are chilling with me now, so that's cool. Yeah, I almost was going to go to that tomorrow, South Kaiser. I had it on the calendar, but not quite feeling it. So are you going? That would be cool. Mainly, I just haven't played CDH since like the last time we did, like a few months ago, and I don't think any of my decks are like really competitive, and that doesn't matter. I know, but if I'm going to go play a competitive event, I want to like be competitive. Otherwise, I'll just play like for fun and not be in a tournament. So CDH is the 3rd ring of hell with Rhystic Study. Yeah, it's also felt like the vibes around CDH have been a little bit lackluster lately. I'm not like giving up on it, but I am taking apart one of my decks, but I'm definitely keeping my Urza deck, my Keurig deck, and my Marneus Calgar deck. Although there's a chance I might change Keurig into bracket 4 because I feel like it's a weird CDH deck. Meaning, like, you either just win out of nowhere or you sort of don't do anything. So that's not bad necessarily, but it's just not like how I like playing. I like to at least, sometimes you only get like 2 or 3 turns in a whole game. And if in Keurig, it's like they counter your Keurig once or like they kill it once and you're almost out of the game, if, depending on the game. So, especially with Rhystic Studies, I never have the mana to pay for it because I need every piece of mana in that deck. So, anyways, but all right, I'm going to open at least one more of these. And then I think I have another set collector booster. My dog is right here wanting some love. Buddy? Buddy's in the way. All right, let's just throw this one open first. See if we get something good. I don't know, whatever. I was going to say, like, I'll open another pack, but whatever. I'll just open a pack. A 2/2 for 3 and makes a blood token. Very interesting, straightforward card. Till end of turn, target creature becomes a blue serpent. Oh, I actually been thinking about putting this in my cube. Because my cube is a combat damage cube. So there's a bunch of cards that like when they deal combat damage, it does that much. And this one is pretty great for blue, just to basically turn it. Like, I mean, it's basically give a creature plus, yeah, like 2, 3, sometimes 4. But anyways, it probably is not quite good enough. Flip card. This one's, I feel like I remember this one being pretty good. Oh no, it's not. All right, catapult fodder. I do not remember this card. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you control 3 or more creatures that have toughness greater than their power. Oh, each have toughness greater than their power. So each creature needs 2. Then you transform it, and it becomes sacrifice another creature. Target opponent loses life equal to the sacrificed creature's toughness. It's actually probably an awesome card for any of the Tree Folk decks. But got the swamp. We got a Thalia. It's not a bad hit. I don't think she's worth anything anymore because she's been reprinted so many times. But speaking of CDH, man, freaking autofocus. All right, we're getting rid of you, autofocus. Got a Thalia. This is Crimson Vow, so yeah, it's Innistrad. So that one's fun. A Thundering Mightmare. As long as Thundering Mightmare is paired with another creature, each of those creatures has, whenever an opponent casts a spell, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Dang, what? This maybe could fit in my Titus deck. Whenever an opponent casts a spell. Man. Might be worth it, because 2 of your creatures are basically, it's like the that Tree Folk that we were just talking about, Tree Folk, but there's the Tree Folk whenever your opponent casts a spell, whenever someone casts a spell, gets a counter, and then you can move those on your upkeep. Wedding Announcement, got this last time. Oh yeah, I forgot about all these dumb non-foils foils in these slots. I heard it. Oh, Okay, it's probably not worth anything, but it is cool. I really wish it was foil. But it is Count Dracula, alternate art. Sorin the Merciless. Oh, commons in the freaking rare slots. Yeah, okay, whatever. Think we have, yeah, we have one more card. Alchemist Gambit? I don't even know what this is. Take an extra turn after this one. During that turn, damage can't be prevented. The beginning of that turn's end step, you lose the game. Okay, so if you want a free turn for 3 mana, you lose the game after that. I think I'd remember this card. But if you pay 7 mana, you can just get a regular turn. Well, it seems like there's maybe a place for that, but... Alright. I think I'm done opening Crimson Vow for now, for myself. Maybe there's still more in here, but I just hate these non-foil slots. I'm pretty sure this set had way more non-foils in the rare slots than a modern collector box, but I could be wrong. All right, I think I have maybe another set collector pack that I can open though. I'm gonna look in my box here real quick. I will BRB. All right. found a couple things. I didn't have as many collector packs, free ones, as I thought. I could only find a Dominaria United one. So, I'm going to let you vote in the comments for those of you that are still here. I'll open one of these. And if we get something good, I'll open another one. If we don't, I'm just going to open that one. So this could have old fetches. This could maybe have something in it. Maybe a Sheoldred. And some of the jump starts have like some valuable cards in them. I think is this the original jump start? I think so. All right, Insane Goon. Do you have any of the Time Twister mats or the XXL hoodies left from the summit? I think we're out of all of the extra larges and larges, I think, and maybe the extra larges. There's a chance we maybe have one from an extra large from the color. We definitely have 3 extra large ones if you want a little bit oversized. But email me if you're really serious about it. And then the Time Twister mat, we actually never got those made. I only ever got one of them made. And I was going to get them made just to like let people get them that were interested. But I was going to do like a little Kickstarter. But I didn't, and mainly, yeah. So, but yeah, if you're interested, maybe we could work something out. So, email me, crown@kingdoms.tv. You can find it on everywhere too, on Twitch and YouTube. You can find crown@kingdoms.tv. But let me know what you're interested in, and I'll see what I can do. Probably, for now, I'll say no to the Time Twister mats, like doing an individual one. There's still a chance. I've been trying. There's a lot of thoughts on the summit, but I might do like a one last sell of like playmats and like for like basically cost, like playmats for like $10. But these will be the ones that are already made, and like hoodies and t-shirts for like $10, and then you have to pay shipping obviously, but like basically really cheap for like a lot of the summit stuff. I might do it for just like a 2-week period or something, and then the rest I'm thinking about giving some to we have these centers here in American Fork and north of us that have like refugees that are from other countries that come to Utah, and they need like clothes and toiletries and all this kind of stuff. And so I've been thinking about just donating all the hoodies and t-shirts there, because like DI or like a Salvation Army is not really gonna be able to handle or want a bunch of these random t-shirts that nobody knows. So anyways, so keep watch. I do want to I have a bunch of boxes in a store in a little garage, and I plan on like getting rid of that stuff. So in regard to the Time Twister, if we did anything with that, it would be like a little Kickstarter, and like you'd have to pay like full price because we'd have to have the money beforehand to like buy it, and then I just want to make just enough for those that had bought one. So, but anyways, good question. But there's a chance that I could get you the hoodie for sure. I think if we have them, I'd love to get you one. So, yeah, we definitely have triple XLs. I know we do have those. There's a small chance we maybe have some double XLs. We could do that. Maybe like a local store, like at Game Grid. I'd want to Yeah, maybe we will. Maybe we do both. Maybe we do like like a sale where, but I don't know. I don't know how much. I don't want to like use the summit email list because I just feel so bad about what happened, and I do think we paid back 99% of everybody. Um, but I do feel like there was one or two people that never got in touch with me, and I didn't, and their payment info wasn't accurate, and so we've refunded 99% of the tickets for the last year, but there was like maybe $500 worth that we weren't able to refund. Um, so, but anyways, we did refund everybody, so I don't feel bad in that regard. But yeah, anyways, mixed feelings, but good question. But yeah, email me and we can figure something out ourselves. Um, I wouldn't charge it much for them, basically just I'll find out what I paid for them, maybe 20-30 bucks, plus shipping. Nothing crazy. Um, but yeah, we can figure it out offline, I guess. Um, yeah, I don't. We can talk about the summit another time too in Sangoon, maybe off stream. I basically have like I'm joking slash not joking. I think I sort of have a little bit of PTSD from the summit experience. Long story short, I'll just say the first year was I don't feel bad about. I think we were trying something that had never been done before. It was a lot of cool things happened. We didn't make money. We lost money, but it was close. We only lost like $20,000, but like we almost broke even. But we should have just stopped then. But we thought that like we could fix some things and make this next year better, but there was just so much less interest because COVID was now a little bit away and people had, magic cons that they could go to, and there just was a lot more options. And so like a fourth of the people that went the first year came the second year, and like I personally had to go bankrupt. Like I lost we like hundreds of thousands of dollars and lost most of my collection, like a lot of the cool like all my dual lands. So anyways, and on top of that, there was a lot of cool things happening, like connections and people and creators and all this stuff, and I wasn't able to engage with any of it because I was just putting out fires the whole time. And so yeah, just shouldn't have done the second year. And so the fact that we even thought about a third year was crazy. We ended up canceling the third year, but I personally am never gonna do a convention again. I know that maybe my partner, maybe he will, but I won't be a part of it. Because there's no money in it, and then that's not why we did it, but I literally can't actually do it again, right? I don't have the finances to. So, anyways, yeah, I'm glad. The least the one silver lining is that a lot of people seem to have fun at least that first year and maybe the second year, but I didn't. I can look back and say I had no fun at all. And that's partially my fault, but it's also because my life was just imploding every time I put so much into it, and then for it to just fail so spectacularly from my side, like financially and like the second year, not only did we get hit financially, the other game stores that came, the also didn't do well. So like I felt like I like tricked them almost, So anyways, yeah. I'm not Yeah, anyways, which pack do you think I should open? Anybody? Anybody? What do you want to see? Of all the packs, I'm going to get rid of I'm leaning towards the Jumpstart, but if you want to see a certain, okay, yeah. Also, Sweetland wants to see Jumpstart. Anyone else before want to put your vote in? I could be swayed. Okay. United, Dominaria United. So there's one vote for Jumpstart, one vote for Dominaria United. If either of those get a second vote, I think we'll do that. Or does someone want to see Tarkir? I think you guys are the two main that are chatting, so there might not be any more votes. Was there anyone else chatting? South Kaiser maybe was here. South Kaiser, you still here? Do you want to... Which one should I open? If not, I guess I'll have to make the call. We'll take out this for now. Between Jumpstart... Here's what it is. We won't open the cons. We're taking that one out. If we... I'll open the Jumpstart, and if we get like one of the rares that's like $10 plus, then I'll also open the Dominaria United. That's what we'll do. So here we go. Jumpstart. These are like double packed, if I remember right. So we have spellcasting. I was hoping for elves. All the green ones, and green and black seem to be the best pricing. I don't know if spellcasting can have a really good one, but I don't know if I've ever opened spellcasting. I assume it's red. Maybe red blue. Maybe just blue. It's probably red. Looks red with the art. Should we go this way? It is red. Okay. Bunch of lands. Isn't there one special land? Yeah, there's that one special land there. Special art. I think they've reused some of the arts though now. Do Thermo Alchemist, Lightning Visionary, Hungry Flames, Blind Blast. I don't know if I've ever seen that. Deal 1 damage to target creature. That creature can't block this turn. Draw a card. Thrill of Possibility. Shock. Goblin Wizardry. Heartfire Immolator. Kinetic Augur. This is the trample. Kinetic Augur enters the battlefield. Discard up to 2 cards, then draw that many cards. Interesting. It's not that bad. Okay. I think there could be 2 rares. I think this one is the... Yeah. So these could both be rare if we got like a good pack. Let's see. Nope. Chandra's Pyreling and... Double Vision. We didn't even get a legendary. Dang. Oh well. I actually sort of need a Double Vision. I don't think I own one. Whenever you cast your first instant or sorcery spell each turn, copy that spell. For my Electro deck. Well, at one point I had a vision to... I don't know if any of you guys ever played Smash Up, the board game, but I wanted... It's basically just Jumpstart, but not with mana. But, and not magic cards. But I wanted to get one copy of every Jumpstart pack and have like a Jumpstart cube where it's like every Jumpstart from every set that's ever come out, and you could like just randomly get 2 of them and smash them together. Maybe someday I still will. You'd have to basically like... maybe it's too cost prohibitive now, but... Alright, whatever. I'll open the other pack. Insane Good and Sweetland, thank you guys for chatting. Thanks for saying hello. Thanks for everybody for hanging out with me tonight, Friday evening. And let's see if we can get a Sheoldred or something. Probably not, because I think I got a Sheoldred in the box, in the collector box that this pack also came from. But I guess maybe there's 2 Sheoldreds in a box, but maybe there's something else we could get. The Get To Amplifier. Dragon Whelp, classic. I actually don't mind when they redo cards like this, especially the old ones. I think it's pretty fun. I really do love Dominaria sets. Any set that's on Dominaria, I'm going to be happy about opening it, honestly. Balmor, Battle Mage Captain. Gorgeous Forest, and... Oh yeah, I forget that this set just has a bunch of legendary creatures. I always wanted to find a way for this temporary lockdown to work. Enters the battlefield, exile each non-land permanent with mana value 2 or less until temporary lockdown leaves the battlefield. I feel like there's something you could do to like take advantage of it, but this is a rare. No, it's uncommon. And a Llanowar Green Widow. Do I even know what this is? 3 mana for a 4/3, reach, trample. Domain 8 mana. I do not know what this is. Return Llanowar Green Widow from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Tapped? What? Is this a misprint? You guys got to see this. Or am I just failing my reading comprehension? Return Llanowar Green Widow from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. What the heck? Tapped. Does that like mean it gets like stun counter on it or something, or gets haste because you've just gone all the way around? It gains if this permanent would leave the battlefield, exile instead of putting it anywhere else. This ability costs 1 less to activate for each basic land type among lands you control. So it can cost 3. Has anyone seen that before? Is that a common misprint? That's sort of funny. All right. Tapped. Maybe it's like... Yeah, I'm not going to say that, actually. All right. Let's... Had a great D&D session. Mine got canceled. That's why I did mine tonight. But we actually are playing Cyberpunk right now. Cyberpunk Red. But someone had surgery, so we had to cancel tonight. But yeah, this has been fun. Another uncommon. Great. Oh, speaking of Jasmine, we got Jasmine again. She's like 20 cents, but still got nice old Jasmine. I always wanted to make Ivy work just because I love Feather so much. I would love to like partner together Ivy and Feather. Whenever a player casts a spell that targets only a single creature other than Ivy, Gleeful Spell Thief, you may copy that spell that copy targets Ivy. It'd be so fun to be able to partner with Feather and Ivy, have all 4 colors. Ooh, I've never even seen this one before. Oh, Hobby Caleria. Untap all archers you control during each other player's untap step. Whenever an archer you control deals combat damage to a creature, you may pay 2. If you do, draw a card. That's sort of cool. Defiler of the Flesh is the... I sort of need one of these, actually, and this is a cool version. It's not worth, like, the money opening the pack, but that's not why I did it. I did it to have fun with you guys. But as additional cost to cast a black permanent spells, you may pay 2 life. Yeah, I've been thinking about putting this maybe in Keurig, but I think some other decks could handle it too. So you can only do 1. So just 1 black less, but it's basically like a little mini Keurig. It's only for permanents. But target creature you control gets +1/+1 and menace till end of turn. That's not bad to put on to Keurig. This Keurig makes it a little bit harder to block him, and he does a little bit more damage for lifelink. But I'll definitely I'll find a place for Defiler of Flesh. I need the green one too. I don't think I own a green one. Pride event deck Feather and Ivy. Yeah, isn't that this month even? Or was that last month? This month? But Defiler of the Flesh. Find a place for you, boy. I'm gonna do something with this tapped. That's funny. I don't know if I've never seen something like that where they just miss so badly. All right, well, I think we'll call it there right before midnight tonight here. Sure it's later for some of you. But yeah, thanks for hanging out again. Just doing these random streams are pretty fun. Most of the time I would just but I would just, you know, watch something on YouTube while I do my decks. Actually, I guess I can do this while some of you are here. Here's my Raph and Mikey deck. So this deck is all like big creatures. And they're all like the biggest creatures. So I'm gonna go into like Atali, Kadama, and then I have like all the damage doublers or triplers. So there's Galtas, multiple Galtas, and Bornclexes and Borborygmoses, and then there's just like every ramp that you can think of that's not a creature. This one is fun. I got this at MagicCon 2025 actually. This original Quicksilver Amulet. But I didn't have enough forests of the right kind, of the Ninja Turtle kind. So now, Mikey and Raph, all the deck is red and green. It's Pizza Lands. Sweet. Well, but again, yeah, thanks again. Thanks, Insane Goon, for always hanging out. It's always a pleasure. Thanks, Sweetland and South Kaiser as well. And for any of you guys lurking, totally understand. You don't want to chat. Thanks for hanging out. There's been a number of people just chilling. Always makes it seem a little more fun when the number is more than 0 at least. So, it got up to I think like 10 tonight, so that's pretty cool. Just for a random stream, especially. I do want to try and get some more gameplay on stream, but we'll see what we can do. But yeah, go check out the new video if you haven't already. It came out today. Just us playing some of our regular decks. And if you are interested in checking out the upgraded or the updated Patreons, I'm going to make some of those connected to the YouTube membership too. So try and get that done soon. But yeah, pleasure as always, everybody. And yeah, have a great night. Keep it nerdy. Have a good weekend. Do something fun.